Good morning, everyone. I'm coming in through the back gate this morning. I've been puttering in the front, and it occurred to me that I haven't done a walkabout for a while, and maybe give you an update on some projects that I had been working on and that many of you have requested a visual update on what those projects look like now. My main task at hand this week, both inside and out, is decluttering. I'm getting rid of a lot of stuff, as typically happens in August. It's very windy, it's very hot, and I have way too many potted plants, so I am starting to deal with all of those. Some of them will go in the ground, some will be given away. I will just process them, so to speak. I'm doing that on the inside too, and as a heads up, probably starting next week, if you're in the Oklahoma City area, I'm going to be putting some stuff, some garden books and some garden accoutrement, probably on sale in Facebook Market. Now come along with me, if you will, onto the drive, which is in a state of disrepair and soon to be repair, because I've just stacked everything here as I go through it, get rid of stuff, put it away, and I want to show you my very ugly driveway so that you can get an update. Many of you have asked for an update on the compost pile, so here you go. Compost pile has some new residents. There is some kind of squash. I'm not sure what it is. As I said, it has been very, very windy and very, very desiccating, and so everything is starting to dry out and get kind of crispy, and that includes the compost pile. So, however, it nevertheless doesn't look too bad, and I will continue to poke some things in through the wire mesh, and by fall it should be nice and considerably more tidy as I get rid of stuff and kind of clean stuff up and just give it a good overhaul. And there may or may not be a project for this area, you guys. That reminds me, I need to do some follow-up on it. So I'll show you this area once I get everything put away. And now let's go back into the yard, and I'll give you a few more updates. So like I said, I'm starting to remove some of the smaller pots, consolidate them. If things don't look their best and look like they're on the downside, some of those I have tossed into the compost pile or just gotten rid of them. So I want to give you an update on, and I will put a link below to this pruning and double ball topiary. This was one I did with a variegated boxwood earlier in the year, and it is wanting a good feed. So I'll give it a good feed. It needs a little tidying, a little clipping, but you can see that the top ball is starting to get established, and by next year it'll have a much stronger form, and growth on it will accelerate as the temperatures cool and it starts getting rainy this fall, and may want to take off that little lower branch. But again, you guys, click on the link below. In fact, I'm putting lots of what I hope to be helpful links on every post now. You can go back or go to the bottom of the description and see how you can follow me on Instagram and Pinterest, where I have just lots of things saved, both from my own garden and from others, ideas that I am mulling over. You can subscribe to LVTV. We just did a couple of remarkable videos that I'll be putting up on LVTV. One about the process of how I designed this garden bed, and steps and tips and tricks and design principles for designing your own garden border. And I also did a real extensive interview and discussion of my artificial turf. And those are coming up on LVTV this coming week, in addition to the other content we put up. So you guys hop on over there and subscribe. For the duration of August, we're still offering August for free. So no harm, no foul. Hop over there, try it, and see if you like it. So that is one area right there that I am going to consolidate and get rid of some of those messy pots and baskets. I want a much cleaner aesthetic, as I typically do this time of year. Can you hear that wind kicking in? Just enjoy it for a minute. It's going to get very, very hot later in the day. I'm getting ready to do a Southern Living project. I've got a fabulous hanging basket for fall. I'm already thinking about fall and thinking about the future, and actually I have a couple of planting projects where I am not only thinking about this upcoming fall, but upcoming years. I'm going to remove that large table with the topiaries in the back and relocate it and redistribute all those myrtles that have been getting lots of sun exposure, because they really want lots of sun. And I'm going to be doing on LVTV just a huge video on these compact myrtle, dwarf myrtle topiaries. I want to show you, this was really fun. I saw this in an image in a magazine, and I made some of these kind of espalier myrtles. Get a different vantage point so you can see them. Talk a little bit about how I did that and how I take care of my myrtles. And my bad, I have been pretty busy recently, and then it got hot, so I still have to clean that area out for you, which I promised to do. Those white wedding hydrangeas are putting on a second wave of bloom, and I think I'm going to cut them and make a big flower arrangement. August, my friends, is my least favorite month. I get the August blahs. But I know they're not going to last. They too shall pass as the weather gets nicer. The rosemaries are just getting huge. They're very happy right now. Again, I'm going to streamline a lot of this stuff. Now, my big project for this week, and I have started it, is the prune of the boxwood. I can't believe how much it has grown. And I think I may have mentioned that I found some golden oldies of how stuff looked when it was smaller that I'll be putting up on LVTV so you guys can compare the difference. And this whole quadrant right here, quadrant 1, is going to get a refresh. I may have already showed you. I need to redo that brick. I am cutting back the gold Fortuna euonymus in here very, very drastically. I can do that now. And was there something else in here I wanted to give you an update on? Yes, I had seeded some Holy Scarlet zinnias that were AAS winners. The sun is starting to poke its head. And I had anticipated, being scarlet, that they would be a really vibrant red, but to my happy surprise, they are this deep orange, which looks just like the orange in that Sizzler firecracker, which I keep showing you over and over again because this is its time of year to shine. And then this is another happy color happenstance. If you look here, you can see that Silverado sage, that Texas sage, is blooming in the exact color of the tall phlox that there's a border of it back here. It's all getting ready to explode. and it's the perfect color echo. Those kind of things just make me inordinately happy. So I know I show you this border a lot, but it's also because this is when this border is at its best. And that's a design tip, you guys, to plan accordingly, because areas come and go. One moment they're shining and the next minute not so much. You can see my shadow there. Follows me everywhere. And right in there, in the foreground, you do not see it anymore, was one of those golden euonymus, and I decided to take it out. As I mentioned earlier, it was starting to succumb to scale. I will keep that trimmed. You can't see it from the front, so it doesn't bother me too much, but I want that wintergreen boxwood to grow out and fill in, and it will. I have tons of peppers in here. These are poblano and jalapenos. But you can see that this curve, there's my tarp there, this curve has been pruned. And there's other parts that are still fluffy. I saw something on Garden Answer, and Laura was talking about how she very much has zones on her property of how she divides up and tackles the garden chores that she has, and hers is color coded and everything, and mine, of course, my garden is a fraction of the size of hers, and but Laura, being the brilliant gardener, has again divided it up into manageable tasks, and I do the same on a much informal way, just with my garden rooms. And by the way, most of you I know follow Garden Answer, and Laura and Aaron could not be more warm, more friendly, more genuine, and I'm so happy for them as their family expands. No one deserves it more. No one works harder and is more giving of their time and their advice and their expertise. And boy, don't we appreciate it now as we are stuck at home. Oh, did you see that hummingbird over there on the Wigelia? One post I'm going to be doing pretty soon are some of my five of my favorite blooming shrubs, and one of them will be Wigelia. And this year I've had more bird life than ever before, and lots of hummingbirds. So I will come back and show you this after it has been pruned back, decluttered, and looks a little less congested and tidier with a more streamlined look. Well, happy Monday, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with me and getting an update on a couple of things I've got going on here. Stay safe and stay well.